It's all right. Back home, we call beer swill. All right? Because Milwaukee doesn't have good beer. Back here in Leipzig, we call it fuel. Beer equals fuel. Right? He's a fuel on the hill team coming for the kill. Ooh! Yeah! The team, pour on the hill, and like a nice junkie is drinking straight from the still. Nobody wants to know him, you can see he needs his fuel. He's a Beatallibanger. He needs fuel on the hill, till the sun is going, till the sun going down, and it is rain. Let's see it rain, and the world is spinning round. Be the fuel on the hills here, coming for the kill. I'm losing clean. Still screaming, the very loud. Nobody wants to hear it. Beatallica, black, Beatle, white. Fuck a man, white knuckle tight. Yeah! He needs fuel on the hill till the sun is going, till the sun is going down, and it's seeing red, and the world is spinning round. Be the fuel on the hills here, coming for the kill. Ooh, yeah. You can tell what he wants to do. Your veins on the chrome is burning. Nobody listens to him. He knows that they're the fool. Honey birds, they don't like him. He needs fuel on the hill till the sun is going, till the sun is going down, and it is rain, seeing rain, and the world is spinning round. They're on the hill till the sun is going, till the sun is going down, and it's red, seeing red, and the world is spinning round. Be the fuel on the hill, do you coming for the hill?
All right, Heshers.
Hey, Beatallibangers.
We're ready to get BeatalliCAST going again.
There we go.
We've been chatting with different Beatallibangers and stuff like that, and I thought we'd keep it going.
All right.
Where do you think we should call now?
I'm thinking somewhere we haven't called before.
Another country, huh?
Yeah, let's go for it, man.
All right, well, let's get on the phone. Major Beatallibanger. Hung out with him in Berlin a couple times.
I was at home.
You were at home. Thanks for getting that in. Anyway, on the phone, we have Beatallibanger Casper. Casper, how are you doing?
Casper.
Yeah, I'm doing fine. And all you in America?
Yeah, we're doing well. It's 10 o'clock in the morning or just about. You're in Copenhagen, right?
Yes, that's right. I'm the center of Copenhagen.
Copenhagen. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. No problem.
Don't worry. It's us Crazy Americans.
Yeah, that's because you only come to Germany. That in Germany it's called Copenhagen. Yeah.
My apologies. My apologies. So
No problem at all.
So when did you become a Beatallibanger?
Well, I popped my Beatallica cherry in December. I think it was 2007 or something. I just saw on the local concert calendar that there was a band called Beatallica playing, and figured I have to check this out. Listen to the MySpace songs, and I thought this must be a laugh. And sure enough, it was. The first one I met was James trying to push some merchandise on us. And,
Buy.
Yeah, exactly. Wearing his classic Newcastle cap and wolfing down his dinner while Tanya was sleeping because she'd been driving all day.
What show was that?
It was in Copenhagen, a place called The Rock, the local metal scene.
Nice.
And the only time they played in Copenhagen since, actually.
Damn.
I can understand there weren't that many people, but it was a laugh, even though it was a Tuesday night, I think. And we went, and we've been hooked, both my girlfriend Julie and I, ever since. And we've traveled, not the world, but to places in Europe to see their shows.
Nice.
Yeah,
seeing as they haven't been attending shows locally.
Right. Yeah, definitely a shout out to Julie. She's very cool. I had fun with you guys when we met up at the Berlin shows, which was a lot of fun. So
yeah, that was extremely much fun.
Oh yeah. No, it was great. After you saw them the first time, did you approach them and talk to them a lot, or did you just buy some merch and then kind of leave and then kind of later become a more hardcore Beatallibanger? Or?
Well, at the show, we met James at first. I just thought he looks like the kind of guy who's in the band, who's not just selling the merchandise. And I asked him, and he said, yeah, sure, he was in the band. And we just started talking, and I talked a bit to Cliff. And but actually, that night we hung out with the old Gerd, the second Gerd.
Okay.
A lot.
Right,
The big lumbering giant who's just... And he just sort of fell into our ways and our humor, and we had some beers with him. And after the show, we talked to the guys, and then we found out that they were playing in Nakskov, which is a very, very small city in Denmark, to the south of Denmark, which is basically only old people and rehabilitated drug addicts.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, because
retirement
they have this rehab center there, and they used to have a shipyard which closed, which meant that everyone moved away. So there's nothing really in this city or in this town actually, and they were playing there, and my grandmother lives there, so we thought it was a great opportunity to have another show. So we went to the show, drove those 100 miles or so, and saw the show again. That was my second Beatallica show within 24 hours.
Awesome. I think that's a record. I don't think Murph and I guarantee it was like, I don't think we've ever seen, the first time I saw him was 2005, and we probably saw him months later. I'm going to put this on record. I think you're one of the first Beatallibangers that got bit by the Beatallica bug and within 24 hours drove some other place to see them. I don't know.
I'll check the library.
Okay. And
there was a funny story concerning the show in Nakskov, actually, which is
nice.
At the show, Julie had them sign one of those postcards they did with the Sergeant Hetfield's stripe.
Right.
She had them sign silver pen, and we both got so smashing drunk that she lost it on her way home. And we went back the next day to look for it, and the guys were obviously hungover as well, and we didn't find it. And then when I got home, and she was kind of sad, so I wrote Cliff on the forum and said, listen, she lost her signed autographed card, and he sent her another one from the band.
Nice.
Just out of the blue, out of the kindness of his heart, he made them sign a new one. And then, actually at the show in Berlin, where I met U.S.A. the first time,
right?
James is filming. He's always filming.
Right, always.
And he's filming, and he's making me tell the story, and I'm just sort of dramatizing and exaggerating and what have you. And I tell the story about how nice they were and everything was great. And he pulls out the original signed card that they gave to Julie and that she lost on the way home.
They had it?
Yeah. He'd found it on the street when he was lumbering around, walking completely drunk as well. And he looked down on the street and said, "Ooh, that looks like one of ours." And it was the one that Julie just dropped out of her back pocket.
Nice. Then he gave it to you guys.
Yeah, so in Berlin she got the original one, so now she has two.
Cool.
That is totally cool.
Yeah, but that just goes to show what kind of guys they are.
Yes, they're very, very, very approachable, very cool people to talk with.
They are.
When did you see them next? Because I think you saw them a couple more times during the European tour before we met.
Yeah, there was, I can't remember because they've been on so many short tours, but we saw them, after that we saw them in Flensburg, which is the north of Germany, an old Danish town in the north of Germany, which was in this very strange club called the Roxy. It's very popular, very well known. And when we walked in, there were like 20 biker types sitting around, and I thought, is this really the right place? It's in the middle of an industrial neighborhood. They have car dealerships all the way around, and then there's this rock club. But then again, it doesn't bother the neighbors as well. And they played, I think, for 20 minutes, if that, and all the power broke. Oh. All the power went down, and they had to call an electrician, and I think that happened 3 or 4 times during the show, that they just blew the fuses.
Nice. Power of metal.
Exactly, that is the power of metal. And Cliff had me drinking alcohol-free beer.
What?
That night. Yeah, I don't know why, but he said, "Ooh, this is a good beer," and I thought, well, it actually was a good beer. I'd never had that before. An alcohol-free beer that tastes like something.
All I can say is that I know from you is you like beer. So I am surprised that you would find non-alcoholic beer so enjoyable.
Trust me, so am I.
I'm shocked. Just as a side note about them blowing the power and everything, one thing Murph doesn't know about you is you're a major metalhead. You pretty much know everything that's going on in the metal scene. And did you hear recently about Manowar when they were playing in the States?
No, I didn't hear that.
Manowar played, I don't know if it was in New York or I forget what town it was. They showed up for the show, and you know that the power requirements and loud decibels that are mandated from the band have to hit a certain level and stay that way for the whole show, or they won't do their show. And basically, during sound check, they blew the circuits for a whole city block and had to bring in 3 generators to be able to do the show.
That's crazy, man.
I know. It's very akin in a different way. You know, Beatallica blows a couple circuits. Manowar blows a whole city block.
Yeah, but it's the same kind of record, so that's okay.
So
it is. And, you know, the whole Manowar thing, you know, just to finish off with Manowar, they just recently put out their song, you know, in multiple languages and said they were the first to do that, which is completely inaccurate because Beatallica did All You Need Is Blood in, I think it's 13 different languages.
Yeah, and Ringo, he pointed that out so many places, and no one seems to notice. Like, yeah, that's fine, but you're just a hobby band, so that well, people just, I don't know why.
A hobby band. I like that. That's my favorite new quote of the year for Beatallica.
Yeah, but that's what I think. That's sort of like people's reaction to the one that when you tell them that, well, Beatallica actually did this before. Yeah, but that's just a ripoff. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Not really. They beat Manowar both to the number of songs in different languages and to blowing the fuses.
Exactly, but I think other band have blown fuses in a bar before, but
absolutely.
Yeah,
we can pretend.
That's the thing about Manowar. They're just upstart.
Just taking a side note from, stepping aside from the whole Beatallica universe, you're an extreme metalhead, and you, let me see if I get this right, you write your own, you do a magazine.
No, well, I write for the local Danish magazine, the oldest, 25 years old, metal magazine in Denmark. I didn't start it, someone else started it, and they just started releasing it again here a few years back. And I popped them an email and said, do you need someone else to write for the magazine? And I said, yeah, sure. So now I do, interviews with different kinds of bands and such.
Is that just a magazine, or do you post your stuff online?
No, unfortunately, it's only a magazine. It's a printed magazine, so... So there's nothing online.
And Julie takes pictures for you, or Julie's an amazing photographer, and every time she shows up with you, she has the biggest camera, and when the pictures come back, hers are always the best.
I think I'll be sure to tell her that.
Oh, yes, please do.
Yeah, she does the pictures because, she's been an amateur photographer for years. So we figured that maybe we could combine our hobbies. Me wanted to go to metal shows, and she wanted to take pictures, and it works out great.
Nice.
It's like a match made in hell, or whatever.
Exactly. So have you
match made in metal?
Exactly. So have you interviewed any bands that you were surprised you had a chance to meet and talk with?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. When I interview bands, I go like, oh, I got to talk to whomever, and people say, huh? Who? Because it's metal and no one knows. But I have gotten to interview Vinnie Paul from Pantera and
nice.
Angela Gossow from Arch Enemy, and we met Peter Steele before he died, obviously. And, the guys from Entombed, and I think James would be jealous when I tell him that I've interviewed Satyr from Satyricon.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, in the beginning I was really in awe of these people who were calling my phone and saying, oh, I'm going to talk to someone who's like a living legend.
Right.
And they're like just completely cool about it. Like, yeah, that's no problem.
Exactly. Totally cool, like two crazy Americans calling you for a BeatalliCAST interview. I'm sure it ranks up there.
Exactly, yeah.
So how many subscribers do you have for your magazine?
Oh, I don't know. I think they print about 6,000, and I think they sell around 4 or something.
Nice.
1,000.
That's still a good readership.
What kind of crazy Beatallica stories from back in the day before I met you, before 2009, do you have that you could share with everyone?
That I should share with everyone? I'm not sure I should share them because some of them involve a lot of beer.
Oh, yes.
Well, of course.
Well, let me just put it this way. Every BeatalliCAST, when I post it, the website asks for tags, things to reference to it. Anytime I post any Beatallica videos, they ask for a tag. And, I throw a whole bunch of things up there, but I always make sure to put the tag of beer, because you never know when someone is searching beer and they're going to come across it. So Beatallica and beer go hand in hand, I think.
Yeah, we're drinking beer right now.
It doesn't need, unfortunately I'm not, so but I guess I'll have to take one later, pick one up later.
Yeah.
I think one of the stories would be the Nakskov show, which is in this very, very small town, and we went to the show, and it's kind of provincial in Nakskov, and the guys were playing, and we were just drinking beer. When you grab a new beer before you finish the last one.
Right.
One of those kinds of night. And we woke up the next morning, checked out of the hotel, the same hotel. I think I woke up when Tanya was trying to wake up Gerg. He had the room opposite ours by coincidence. And we woke up, we had to check out, and we just looked at each other, Julie and I, and thought, we're not going to drive home for at least 4 hours. It would be irresponsible and illegal. So we just walked around, and we went to see, clutching our bags of food bought from the bakery, and trying to eat and drink water just to get up again. And we walked all the way in December around the harbor to where they have this old Russian submarine. And we thought we might as well check it out. And what do you know? It was actually Cliff who told us it was there. I didn't know. And when you get there, we walk all the way up to the entrance and find out that it's just closed.
It's closed.
Yeah. And the wind was blowing, so it was extremely chilly and extremely cold. Wonderful experience.
No,
but then there was also on completely the opposite end of the scale when we went to Berlin the first time when I met you, Mike.
Right.
It was just sort of an excuse to go to Berlin as well. We thought, they're not coming to Denmark. Let's just go. And we went. We found this great hotel, and we went and we met up with Torben Basink and went Dennis and Ulla and Suspiria and what have you. And they were all just so great people. They're so nice. Man. And they just accepted everyone into their homes almost, or into their home city at least, and everyone spent a lot of time drinking, having fun.
Oh, yeah, we drank a lot. So was that the first time you had met Hemi, Suspiria, and Ulla, and Corinne, and stuff like that?
Yeah, it was.
Wow. Well,
It was in Berlin.
I feel really honored because that was definitely really, really a highlight for me. I mean, just going to Europe and going to all the different shows and meeting people was awesome. But the Berlin shows, the two that I've been to, were just incredible. That the hardcore Beatallibangers, because, well, let me just step aside. We've talked about Beatallibangers before. A Beatallibanger, you don't sign up for it. You don't, sign up for a club or whatever. It's just a Beatallibangers, anyone.
Either you are not a Beatallibanger.
A Beatallibanger is just someone who enjoys Beatallica, whether they get involved online, Facebook, MySpace, what have you. It's just anyone who's into Beatallica. You're on the forum, Julie, and everyone else we've been mentioning. So to be able to hang out with these, well, I guess I'd seen pictures of you guys, but I had never met you. It was just really cool to almost instantly have, an association and a friendship. It wasn't like we were really meeting for the first time, even though we were, because we'd already been talking online and everything. It was really fun, and I think it was Hemi and Suspiria that loaded the backstage area with Beatallibanger. So we definitely drank a lot of beer backstage.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, and you're right. It's like all the stupid, silly, awkward questions are already over and done with because it's like everyone knows each other in a way.
Right, exactly.
But I felt that the first time I logged on to the forum, which was after the first two shows that I saw in Copenhagen and Knoxville, just logged on, and I thought, and everyone was just welcoming. I mean, I started asking questions about the headfield patches, and Murph just answered, and he made a new thread for me, specifically designed for me. It's with the patch story and all.
Right.
And people were just very warm and welcoming. I mean, it's really impressive. We talked about it when because outside of the immediate Beatallica sphere, both Dennis and Ulla and Torben, they have visited Copenhagen recently because they wanted to see Copenhagen and thought, hey, why not go? So they were here this summer, and Torben stayed on our couch for a few days.
Well, the same thing. Sorry to interrupt you real quick. The same thing happened when Torben came to the United States.
Yeah, but he didn't stay on my couch. He stayed at the doghouse right here where we're calling from. But him and Tina got the master bedroom, and it's like I slept on the couch.
So did you guys go out and see some shows and stuff like that, or did you do some sightseeing with them? Or
yeah, we did some. We showed them around Copenhagen. They wanted to see Christiania, which is the hippie community where you buy your hashish if you want.
Okay.
That's what they wanted to see most. And
is that store still open?
Ulla wanted to see the art shows and all that, and design and so. And Dennis just wanted to show everyone on his iPhone where he had been. So yeah, but it's great. And one of them, I'm not going to tell you who, because that might be embarrassing if he found out, or if people found out. But
I can already guess.
He doesn't have much hair, and he wears glasses, and he likes his iPhone. And he
let me guess, did his iPhone battery die since it's an Apple product?
No, not that. But he said when we were at this restaurant, it's that Beatallica is not that much about the music after all. When it comes down to it, it's about the people. It's about the Beatallibangers. That's what's important. So when you go to a Beatallica show, it's not just the music. That's just an excuse to meet up. But it's really about the people.
I would second.
That was very fitting.
I would second, third, fourth, and fifth that. I say hell yeah to that.
I'll eighth that.
That it's definitely so true. I was in Germany. I think it was 2009 on the JBO tour. I want to say it was the second or third show before Berlin. And helping set up the merch, and I can't remember the guy's name, and he's on the forum, and he'll kill me for not remembering. But he walked up and he said, "Oh, you're Weber." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I don't know you." And he's like, "Well, you're on the forum, and, I know who you are." And I said, "Oh, well, then you must know who MurphDawg is." And he went, "Oh, yeah, I know who MurphDawg is." And I was like shocked that someone in another country knew me by sight you know, because of pictures and stuff that we had posted. And it wasn't like, hello, I'd like to meet you. It was just like we were already friends, even though I hadn't met him before. You know, so it just goes to what you were saying. It really is, you know, the music is 40%, but the rest of it is just meeting the other people who are sharing that same experience, you know?
Yeah, it is. It really is. And a funny thing, on a funny side note, while speaking about Dennis and his iPhone.
Oh, Dennis and his iPhone.
Yeah. Imagine that. Because I've never met a guy as positive as him. When it comes to new experiences, he always goes, "Oh, I know the perfect place to go. I know the perfect restaurant. I know the perfect bar," because he's been checking out online while we're walking somewhere.
Right.
And every single time, and this is of course not his fault. It's just complete coincidence by fate or destiny or whatever. We happen to sit in a restaurant or a bar and wait. One time in Germany, we went to this restaurant, and we ended up waiting for an hour to get something to eat. Then we went to a bar, and the rest of us got our drinks. He had to wait, 45 minutes for like a vodka-tini. And in Copenhagen, we went to a restaurant that he chose, and we waited for 90 minutes to get something to eat. It's completely by coincidence and very unlucky. And the last thing he said before he left Copenhagen was, the next time, you choose a restaurant.
I'm sure you just looked at Julie and winked. You know, kind of a, hell yeah, we'll pick where we're going.
Yeah.
So what other kind of Beatallica stories, you know, I know we've had you on for a little bit, but I don't know, some favorite songs, some other experiences, because you've seen them, what, 5, 6, 7 times, something like that?
Yeah. I can't actually remember how many times it's been, but a few. Yeah, well, Julie has on her desktop background, or actually not any longer, but on her phone, is a picture of herself playing the bass as Cliff when she was in Casper.
We were just talking about that.
Of getting a girl on stage and playing the bass.
Right. Is that not the picture where Cliff took off his Sergeant
jacket, just like he's done with so many other...
Right. But I think around that time you're talking, he just started doing that. And what Cliff does is he takes off his metal Sgt. Pepper's jacket and puts it on the guest, which would be Julie in this instance. And then he stands behind and puts his arms through to kind of puppeteer and actually play, but make it look like Julie was playing the bass for the song. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And she was very proud of that, and very nervous as well.
Well, to have a sweaty Cliff McBurtney behind you and wearing his sweaty jacket and then try to look like you're having fun and staying serious is not an easy thing.
No, and he was also telling her, like, yeah, thank you, and now you'll smell like Cliff.
Well, word is that Gerg the Third, Gerg Hammondsen, the newest one, when he came into the band, my understanding is that since he's been in the band, he has never dry cleaned, or in any fashion, his jacket. So if he ever comes up to Julie and says, hey, put on my jacket and, let's play this song, make sure to tell her no.
Yeah. Thank you, but no thank you. Yeah.
Exactly. It is a great honor, but I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I must refuse.
Indeed, sir. What a great honor, but I shall decline. Sorry. Yeah.
Exactly. So, over the years with Beatallica putting out official CDs and stuff like that, do you have any favorite songs?
Yeah, well, my favorite songs are mostly from the first album, but that's because when I saw my very first Beatallica show, I laughed my ass off for 2 hours when it was going on.
Awesome. So did I.
Yeah, it was really funny, especially when they started playing Cthulhu. I didn't stop laughing all the way through that song because it was just so much fun. It's really spot on combining those two songs. So that remains one of my favorites.
Yeah.
No. But also Led for Madonna, because it's such a happy song. You cannot help but smile when you listen to it.
Yeah, no, I love those too. A video that I posted that because Google Google video is, dying and being deleted. I moved one of the videos that I had shot a long time ago of Cthulhu, He's So Heavy, the very first ever live performance.
That was an awesome show.
And
awesome. Have you seen that, Casper?
Yeah, I think so.
It was like a 3-camera view. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that one. I remember something vaguely. Remember it?
Yeah, it was it was actually Kirk Hammett that was playing the lead guitar, and I'd swear that show just was phenomenal. I mean, it was just such a great performance, and it was early hardcore Beatallica, and I still to this day watch that video and enjoy it wholly. It's one of my favorite Beatallica videos of all time. I mean, we've even done other videos, Fuel on the Hill, what was the other one with the superheroes?
Hero of the Day Tripper.
Hero of the Day Tripper. But by far, I still enjoy that one.
Right.
And Cthulhu the best.
And what I was getting at with that story, Casper, was when they came up, when we met them that night, and, we had 3 cameras. It was a very big production. And they were like, "Oh, we're playing a new song tonight." And I was like, "What is it?" And they're like, "Oh, you'll see." James loves his secrecy. When they were done playing it, afterwards, Murph and I were talking, and we were just like, "Holy fuck, that was awesome." Really, really awesome. And just like you were saying, you were laughing through the whole thing, that if you have an understanding of the Beatles and you have an understanding of Metallica, and then you get hey, we're going to bash them together, just that song is full of humor, but anyone who doesn't really know details of both bands and the history of those songs, it doesn't.
They won't get it.
It doesn't come through. They don't get it, and that's one thing that the band has mentioned, and we've, I guess, talked about a little bit, that European Beatallibangers, or a European audience, and I'm not saying that they're older people as far as age, but they kind of get the whole Beatles catalog, and then when this, bash-up comes along, they really get it. Whereas in America, you can go to shows and certain songs play, and they're enjoying the metal part of it, but they don't get that there's really an underlying humor.
And it's great. I mean, it's a wonderful thing just checking off the guitar riffs and the lyrical context on your list when you're listening to the songs.
I couldn't agree more. So your favorite song's Cthulhu, huh? I really like that song too.
I think so, but I also like the theme song, the Sergeant Hetfield song.
Right.
Because it's also just spot on with the lyrical content and the way it's built. I mean, the way it's constructed is perfect.
Yeah, if you put some headphones on to that album and listen carefully, you'll hear MurphDawg and I kind of laughing and bantering along. We were actually in the studio during some of the multiple voice background kind of stuff, laughter tracks and singing and stuff like that.
And you're also credited on the album, right?
I what?
Yeah.
You're credited as background laughter or something.
Yeah.
We were, what do they call us?
I forget. But I'll tell you something. On one of the future episodes, we're planning on BeatalliCAST, and it'll probably be a while, but we're going to sit down and break down each album, and I'm trying to remember what it is now. One of the tracks, we all sang like chickens, and I have video of it. It was James.
We're all barnyard animals.
Yeah, it was James, MurphDawg, myself, Gerg, Jojo, and I think Emily, and we all for the na
really high squeaky voice.
We needed different stuff for different tracks, and one of them we all sang like chickens. And then I don't know if you remember, Murph, there was another track where we did the pirate track, where we all were like, "Arr!"
No, I don't remember that.
All right. Well, do you think there's any other crazy stories? We definitely like to get you back on again. You are, let's see, Beatallica right now is over in Europe, and I think they've done their 3rd show, something like that, of the European 2011 show. What shows are you and Julie planning on hitting?
Well, actually, it's looking pretty bleak because the only shows nearby are in Berlin and in Hamburg, and Berlin is like on a Tuesday, so we can't, because of work, we just can't go. But right now, in the 11th hour, we've just gotten it arranged so that we can go to Hamburg on Wednesday and maybe catch the show. We'll be like in the nick of time if everything goes well. Or else we'll just have to drink beer afterwards. So.
That's all you got to do. And my understanding is they're playing at the same place, the Gross Freiheit.
Something Beatlemania Museum or something.
Oh, the Beatlemania Museum. Right. Not the Gross Freiheit, but the Beatlemania Museum. But, hey, we'll talk to you soon enough. And when you go to Hamburg and see them, make sure to buy a beer for them. For us.
Will do, and thank you for calling. Thank you for having me on your show. And,
hey,
hope to meet up with you guys in Mike's case again, and in Murph's case once for the first time.
Exactly. Well, hey, and before we go, make sure to say hi to Julie. And
sure I will.
Have a great week.
Ja, you too.
All right, take care.
Thanks, Casper.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Later, bye.
Efter 10 år med hårdt arbejde og masser af metal og blues, så er det tillykke til alle sammen, og stay metal.
All right, MurphDawg. Well, let's see. We talked to Denmark. You know, if we're going to be talking to Beatallibangers around the world, you know, we can always run down the street, or I guess we don't know any Beatallibangers down the street.
No.
But, you know, let's continue this talking to Beatallibangers around the world.
Say we hop the pond again.
Who do you want to talk to?
My friend Dennis.
Oh, you want to get to I am the MurphDawg. Mr. Dennis. Well, guess what, Murph? We got Mr. Dennis on the phone. How you doing, Dennis?
I am the MurphDawg.
Hey, Dennis, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Good. And before we get going into this interview, I just, you know, I haven't talked to you in a while, and I just want to make sure everything's clear. Is your battery charged?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You know, we just recently moved to Berlin, so and we got new computers. Everything is all right.
Give us, because we've been talking to different Beatallibangers around the world. I don't know if you heard me say in the little intro, we talked to Casper in Denmark.
Oh, cool.
And now we're talking to you. You've heard the other BeatalliCAST, the other episodes where we're talking and stuff like that. Why don't you give us your early history of you becoming a Beatallibanger and your Beatallica experiences back in, what are we talking, like 07?
No, pretty much earlier. I think it was pretty much as Dave Dixon put the website up.
Uh-huh.
And I, as a Med Club member, I got the link through Med Club, who posting me the forum.
Uh-huh.
I think you know what I'm talking about. Well,
yes.
First time I listened, I think the first song I've ever listened to was Sergeant Hatfield's Motorbreath Pop Band, and I was like, dude, this is Hatfield making real fun.
You thought it was Hatfield?
Yeah.
Cool.
My first thought was, this is Hatfield, and this is pretty much the Hatfield humor, you know?
Right.
Making fun of his own. And then I thought, no, it's Metallica. No.
Yeah, it's Metallica.
They don't do that stuff. And I don't know, and I was just, I can't remember. I thought maybe I was sending an email to that website admin at that time, but I can't remember exactly. But I think it was first tour they did in Europe. I was in Tinker said we met the first time in Munich, which is Tinker, you're not right. We met in Berlin.
Ah, okay.
That was the third or fourth show they did in Europe.
Okay.
And I was on vacation in Berlin with Cthulhu. You know Cthulhu.
I surely do. Your wife.
And it was winter. We were walking through Berlin and reading signs and posters on the street, and there was that one poster saying Beatallica is playing in Berlin. I said, hey, I'm on the forum on Beatallica. Let's go there. And
so wait, real quick. So you're with your wife, goes by and you're a Beatallibanger, a fan. You're on the forum. You had no idea they were in Europe, and you're walking in the streets in Berlin and saw a sign?
Yes, that's right.
That's awesome. I love it.
And then we've been to the show, and after the show, it was the first lineup, the first live lineup with Brandenburg and the first Cliff.
Right.
And after the show, the guys did the merch booth, and I walked up there and said, "Hey, I'm my nickname on the forum these days was Richie Gecko," and I said, "Hey, I'm Richie Gecko." What? Cool!
Awesome.
And it was like, oh, they know me.
I know. Isn't that fun?
Yeah, that's just awesome, and that was really great, and made me feel like. Okay, I'm welcome. Those guys care, and this is what remains still these days, you know.
It goes along with a theme that's been happening throughout today, is that Beatallibangers online are like really cool people. I mean, most of the people, I mean, it's not so much about the music as it is about the people and having a good time, you know?
That's the way I would describe my personal relationship to Beatallica and all the Beatallibangers right now. It's not really about the music. It's about mainly nowadays about friendship.
Right.
All over the world.
So you met everyone, the original Cliff being Lee that you met, and Kirk, Michael Brandenburg. It's funny you mentioned the original forum and your original nickname on that.
I don't remember the original forum.
Murph has completely blacked out on the original forum.
I don't remember that at all.
Because when there was some hacker or something happened,
I think whoever made it up.
No. And when something happened, they basically before then you could read the forum and everything without signing up.
Yep.
And then once that happened, they blocked it off and the forum started over. And that's when MurphDawg and I, or excuse me, MurphHund, started logging on and really, really talking with a lot of people. We'd done it for maybe a year or so. But Beatallica has gone to Germany, let alone Europe, many, many times. So after you saw them the first time, you saw them again then. Was that Hamburg that you saw them at the Hamburg Ballroom?
I think the second time was in Frankfurt.
Ah, Frankfurt. Okay.
Yeah, which was even the bigger experience because I showed up there and I was pretty much early before the show and they came out and, "Hey, Dennis!" And I was like, oh, they remember me again.
I wanted to bring up Camp Tinker when you and Ulla came out and hung out with us at
in
Camp
America,
Tinker, up in Wisconsin. That was a fucking great ass time, man.
Yes, that's true.
All right.
I think I'm the only European who ever saw Beatallica play in America, actually.
I think you're right. So, Camp Tinker, you're definitely a hardcore European Beatallibanger. Torben came and stayed with MurphHund, with Tina.
Yep.
What was it like seeing Beatallica in the States?
It was quite different because it was
Let me guess, the beer sucks here.
But I'm drinking wine. So.
Oh, you're drinking wine. No plop?
Yeah.
No plop?
Where's the
No
plop?
plop today.
Oh.
I already had some plops at... I told you we moved to Berlin, and today is the 1st of May, which is der Tag der Arbeit, the day of work.
The day of Murph? What?
The day, not the day of Murph, no. It's the day of work. And normally this is a holiday, but as today it's Sunday. You know, it's not holiday because Sunday is already holiday. So we've been to Kreuzberg, which is really punky, multi-culty piece of Berlin.
Right.
And we were just listening to some punk bands and stuff. And now I lost my initial thoughts.
What shows right now currently, Beatallica is in Europe and touring, and we're talking to you from Chicago. What shows are you going to see on this tour?
I'm just seeing the show in Berlin.
Nice.
You have to walk down the street?
Well, it's just, I think 20 minutes with the U-Bahn. the U-Bahn,
Cool.
the metro.
Nice.
In English,
Nice.
in American English.
After you had seen them a couple times, because you probably, Murph and I kind of joked on the first episode, as far as United States, we're the most hardcore Beatallibangers. I think, without being pompous, that we've seen them the most, hung out and everything, and we definitely put you as the number one European Beatallibanger that's seen them the most. What kind of crazy memories, stories, you know, we don't have to talk about you being drunk in Berlin in 2009 because I have video and pictures, but what other kind of stories do you have about Beatallica?
Welcome
I mean,
to
like
blackmail.beatallica.com.
I mean, like real stories of like Beatallibanger, liking the music, talking with people about it, or experiencing them live. What other kind of good stories you got?
Well, I've seen them in Europe, like, I think 11 times. After the first BeatalliCAST, I was collecting all the shows I've been to, and I was wending through the gig history of Beatallica, and my count is 11, I think. But I'm not sure if it's correct. The most exciting and the most fun thing with Beatallica I've ever had was Ulla and my wedding greetings from Beatallica.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
We are married now for, let me think, almost 2 years, I guess. And,
you better get that right, because Ulla is going to put the hammer
she's in
down.
the other room.
Do your math. Do your math.
Yeah. And Torben, a.k.a. Basing, on the forums, arranged a little video thing, and Beatallica was, or Cliff and Jeff and Tinker and Ringo were sitting behind the piano and singing a song and giving us wedding
Who was
greetings.
playing the
and
piano? Is it
my
Ringo?
personal
No, Paul.
best thing, meeting or with Beatallica ever.
Well, you know,
But,
I agree. Something that kind of ties into what we've already said is it had nothing to do with the band.
yeah, right.
Or, hey, you're a fan. You were a friend by way of being a fan of the band, and you had seen them many different times, and the fact that you were getting married, they had no problem creating a video message secretly for you, which is fantastic.
Yes. We watched that after the wedding. We went home and had some cake and champagne and stuff, and Torben came up and said, "Hey, you got a DVD player?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." He put DVD, and I was not. We were not knowing what will show up then, and it was the guy sitting. I think it was at the school where Cliff is teaching music, and literally, I really had tears in my eyes. This was a really special moment.
Oh, I completely agree. I mean, to have friends from the other side of the world secretly record something for you for your wedding, and you only know them from online and 11, 12 times meeting, which is basically meeting not to hang out, but, hey, we're doing a show. To be able to take that time and do that is something really special.
I think this would be a good time to let our listeners know that they go on the forum at Beatallica.org.
Also special was, as I told you earlier, seeing them playing at that private Jameson bartender's ball in Minneapolis.
Oh, right.
Where they only had Jameson and Jameson and Jameson and Jameson.
Right, yes, the Jameson tour.
Jameson,
Yeah, I have that poster in my
Jameson,
office.
And we only had to drink Jameson, and I was like, Jameson
Rick
poisoned
Nielsen
at
was
night
there.
and totally drunk. We really had problems to find our way back home. Ulla had to drive, and as we made it home next day, 9 o'clock in the morning, we were saying the band the day before that we trying to get to Wisconsin and to Milwaukee to see them again, and Gert too, and Cliff they both called us and said, "Hey, you can stay at my place and everything's cool." And so we drove up to Milwaukee the next day, and Cliff hostages. Do you say hostage?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I think your battery's going low.
Yeah,
Is your battery dying? I think you said Hofstad.
Hostages us. So he kept us in
A cage in the
cellar
basement?
as his guest.
Oh, okay. And did he give you any of his...
No, he was not producing anything at that.
No, you knew
free
exactly.
to
You
host it,
knew
you know.
exactly what I was going to say. You knew before I even said it that I was going to be like, did Cliff give you any of his alcohol that he made?
No, it was pre-Cliff alcohol production time.
It was. Jumping back to Camp Tinker. Camp Tinker is something that James Lenfield does on the family property twice a year. And it's a usually 2-3 day weekend party. And they own 40 acres of property. And it's a great time to have fun and party and just have friends hang out and camp out in tents or stay in the house or whatever. It was so awesome that you and Ulla were able to make it there. It was
Right
so
on,
much
man.
fun. What was it like driving from Minneapolis to Camp Tinker?
It was like driving through my home places because it looked pretty much the same, but we have more woods in where I actually come from. But getting there and just to know Tinker and Gert too,
Right.
I was really excited to meet the MurphDawg and Hair VVeber. And as we met there, I think we talked a lot, or we wrote a lot on the forums and Skype and all that
Right.
stuff. But meeting you guys was like meeting old friends.
It
which I
was.
have not seen in a long time.
I couldn't
And
agree
there
more.
was no, how do I say, no barricades or something. It was just like meeting old friends as I have ever known you guys, and was like family.
No, I couldn't
really
agree more.
the only word I could describe it.
Right. No, it was great. I love those times. That was fantastic. I think
And I still see that picture in front of me. You and me, Murph and Hair VVeber standing under that porch drinking.
It was under the gazebo,
the gazebo, yes.
drinking the beer. Yes, I remember
Terrible
that shot very
American Miller beer.
Yeah, and I had a horrible sunburn.
well. Yeah, and
It was
then somebody
hot like hell.
fed me a
And,
jelly bean.
Emily, the
You
mighty wife of Cliff.
know
When
what's
we arrived in Milwaukee, she gave us aloe vera to cool down our sunburns on our arms. Very kind.
You know what's great about that picture of us at Camp Tinker is we're having the time of our life, and here's this German, you, that drinks way better beer than most Americans, and we're toasting you with a Miller Genuine Draft, and you're just smiling and enjoying it.
Was it
and
Miller?
yeah, and I look at it now, and I'm like, oh, nah. We're drinking MGD, but it's a great thing to have a German standing there smiling and holding this beer, even though you know in your mind you're like, ugh.
Yeah, it's the same, just like it's not about the music or the beer, it's just about the friends.
And the beer, but I agree with what you're saying. 2009, Berlin, Beatallica opening for JBO. We were hanging out, and I know you don't remember much of the end of the night, but there were as many pictures taken backstage. But do you remember their show getting hijacked?
Yes.
And
And
what?
I remember Ringo was really pissed.
Oh yeah, he was really fucking pissed.
We were backstage after the show, and actually we were earlier backstage than the band was, and Ringo came into the backstage room and, really not in a good mood. And I said, "Hey Ringo, what's up?" "Man, I'm pissed." And I was like, "Oh yeah." I can imagine that.
Yeah,
But it was all gone within 30 minutes.
Actually, there's some pictures that I don't know if Julie took them backstage, where while Beatallica was on stage, you guys grabbed their outfits and took some blurry drunk pictures backstage of you wearing Beatallica's outfit.
Yep.
Yeah, that was awesome.
What?
Oh yeah.
I was hostage in Cliff's Sergeant Pepper's outfit.
Right? Yeah. No, I remember the pictures well. They're on the forum.
And Cliff, you should watch that.
Before we let you go, you got any other thoughts or anything that you'd like to get out right now on BeatalliCAST about your Beatallibanger experiences?
Well, I really like to say just thrash and let the metal flow.
Hell yeah,
That's
motherfucker.
the one I was talking about.
The number you have dialed is invalid. Please check your listing and try your call again.
Hey Beatallica, Mann, ihr alten Säcke. Ich wünsche euch alles Gute zum 10-jährigen Geburtstag. Und wisst ihr was? Ihr seid jetzt länger auf der Welt als die Beatles. Und das ist richtig cool. Und ich glaube, ihr werdet noch viel länger auf der Welt sein als die Beatles. Und das ist noch viel cooler. Also, alles Gute, ihr Arschwaschlappen.
Yeah, talk about an Arschwaschlappen. You're a Weissspüler.
I'm not. I'm hardcore, man.
All right, MurphDawg. Well, today, let's see. We've hit Denmark. And then we hit Germany. But, you know, before we leave Germany, we were talking in Berlin. Why don't we pop on down and talk to a Beatallibanger in Leipzig?
Beatallibanger in Leipzig would be definitely cool.
All right. Well, on the phone, we have Suspiria. How you doing today, Suspiria?
Yeah, hi. Over.
How are you doing?
All is fine here. I'm so excited to talk to you. I'm a little bit nervous.
This is actually Suspiria?
So, Suspiria, we were talking with a lot of people. We just got off the phone with Dennis, who's now in Berlin. And
yeah, I heard from him.
You've been one of the hardcore European Beatallibangers for many years. Could you just tell us, when did you first hear about Beatallica and kind of hear of their music and then decide and go see them?
It was Hemi who told me about. I knew him since 2006, and we went to a lot of concerts there. And then he said it was spring 2007, and he said, let's go to Beatallica. What? Beatallica? And he said, yes. And I said, what's that? And he said, that's real cool. And I said, okay. And then we went to Berlin. It was in May. 4 years from now, exactly. It was May 10th.
Oh, really?
In Berlin. Yeah. Then I was there, and I said, wow, what's that? And it was really a very strange experience. It was a very small club, and not many people, but it was real great. It was, I'm so excited to talk to you. I lack of words.
And how was it when you first met the band?
It was also 2007. It was even before the concert when I met the band. I met Cliff. He went outside of the venue where we are, and there was this crazy American guy with his tie-dye T-shirt. He looked like me from 20 years ago. Yeah, and he said, "Hi, I'm Cliff," and he was from the band, and he talked to us all, and his friends. Hemi knew him before, and I didn't really realize he was from the band. But then I was like, oh, this guy. The other guys from the band I met after the concert when we were drinking together.
Hell yeah, we always got to have beer at a Beatallica concert, right? You and Hemi are pretty hardcore European Beatallibangers, and while Murph Hund and myself here have, or mainly Murph, created the patches and done some video stuff or whatever, you guys secretly make, or mainly it's Hemi, I don't know, Beatallica beer. And I know when I met you in 2009 at both shows, I came in April and then in December, you guys would sneak backstage with like cases of beer and stick them in the refrigerator and then walk out in front like like nothing has happened.
Masterful mystery beer.
The masterful mystery beer. You'd walk up front like, oh, hello, how's it going? Oh, yeah. And then you walk backstage and there's just shitloads of beer with Beatallica labels all over them, which is awesome. But then you guys also made the styrofoam crosses, and then you guys actually showed up, I don't know if you'd done it before Berlin 2009, but you guys showed up with your own metal Sgt. Pepper's jackets and stuff like that. So,
the Beatallica uniform.
The Beatallica uniforms. So you want to talk a little bit about making those? Did you guys make them, or did you have some?
A good friend of mine made it for us.
Yeah, when you guys showed up, it was like they got their own fucking outfits. Like, where'd they get those? No, it was very, very cool.
Yeah, they're made exclusively for us. There are only these two outfits of Hemi and me. The only one in the world. We saw at a catalog, I don't know, on eBay, were very similar uniforms from some underground label. But we decided to have our own because the other ones, that's not really original. And if we made beer, what was Hemi's idea? And all that, why not creating own clothes?
Right. So what kind of crazy Beatallica experience stories do you have that you could tell us about hanging out with Beatallica and drinking or going to a show or...
Oh, there were so many great moments. We were at Amberg, where Tanya comes from.
Uh-huh.
We were the day off after one show. It was last year. No, 2 years ago. We went to that sand hill.
Oh, right. I've seen the video.
In Germany, you can climb it up. And then there was this I don't know the English word, this roller coaster. Maybe you know the YouTube video.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it. It's funny. Who's the last person that came in? James came in very slow and was holding up a whole bunch of other people.
So there was a sign, please brake now, but he took the brake some meters before. Yeah, and that was really great, crawling up the sand hill, and we all were so really tired climbing up, but not Ryan.
No.
Jumped up that hill like I don't know.
Every now and then when a very serious moment happens with Beatallica and something important or we have to be careful or something like that, that's what the rest of Beatallica calls James. They call him Grandpa. So when he came in very slow and holding up the rest of the people on that roller coaster ride, they call that, oh, here comes Grandpa. So
Yeah.
What's some of your favorite Beatallica songs?
Ooh, that's a hard thing. I'm also an Iron Maiden fan, and somebody asked me years ago, what's your favorite Maiden song? And I really had to think of the whole evening.
The Trooper!
Okay. It's not that hard for you, I see. But it was really hard for me. I had a really long time to think of Beatallica. Ooh, if I had to name one, I would say The Thing That Should Not Let It Be.
Nice. That's a damn good poll, because not too many people are like, oh, The Thing That Should Not Let It Be. But
I love the Metallica original song, and I love Lovecraft and Cthulhu and all that stuff.
When Beatallica comes around, I guess, in a couple weeks, what shows are you and Hemi hitting?
Both German shows. It's next week. It's next Wednesday, Hamburg.
Okay.
Next Wednesday. And the week after that, then we are in Berlin. These are the both German shows.
Are there any secret surprises from the Hemi and Suspiria Beatallibanger universe?
Should I really tell?
Oh no, you're being tight-lipped. That's a hardcore Beatallibanger. I can see you smiling, going, I don't think I should say.
It's also a surprise for you.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, then
We've made some gifts.
Okay, well, you don't have to say. I'd like to be surprised. Okay.
We take pictures, and you will see it in the forum.
Okay.
Or do you really want to know?
No.
About you can guess.
No. I would rather be surprised, actually, to tell you the truth.
Okay. So it's a complete surprise. Beatallica, Jungs, ihr seid die Größten. Alles Gute zum Geburtstag. Auf die nächsten 10 Jahre.
All right, Suspiria, we'll let you go, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care, all right?
Yeah, until we read in the forum.
Until we meet on the forum,
day.
or till we have you back onto BeatalliCAST. You never know.
You never know.
So we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
All right, bye-bye.
Hey, dude, it's true, not sad. Take a thrash song and make it better. Remember, metal is in your heart, and you can start to be a Hessian. Hey, dude, don't you be afraid. You were made to go be a shredder. The minute you let us under your skin, then you'll begin to be a shredder. Crank your amp and feel the pain. Hey, dude, you're insane. The rivers run red with blood of posers. Don't you know that he's cool? Who plays it cool, but needs for his beer to be much colder? Come on, you know it. Down. You must pound her. I mean, Kim Wingo. Your wave of British heavy metal is in your heart, and you can start with diamond headers. So let it know. Hey, dude, begin. Don't wait for the eye of the beholder. You never know if they'll soul for you. Hey, dude, you'll do. Just sing and crying because your shoulder. Let's go. It's you not see. Take a threshold, make it better. And then Beatallica's under your skin. So now begin to be a shredder. Shredder, 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 oh yeah.
This has been a Lipstick Lean Hexachlorophene, Cling Cling the Ring, Clang Clang She Sang presentation.